There are many ways to educate folks about the collaborative approach to divorce. What I like to do, I'm quite visual, so when I have a chance to educate folks, I like to draw a horizontal line and say there's a number of approaches to resolving conflict, and if we make it specific to divorce. And one is the kitchen table approach, where the spouses may choose to sit down over the kitchen table and work out details of their divorce. That occurs, it's great if it can happen, don't hear it happen very often. But the second one is when a couple says, we need someone else to help us work through this. We need legal advice and we need help. And at that point, couples make a choice if they want to move into litigation, where they hire attorneys, obviously to put on boxing gloves, that's how I always say it, and go to a stranger, i.e. often a judge, or something that's in a family law statute to make decisions about their lives. That's one option they have. The other option they have is the collaborative approach to divorce, and that is where the couples make a choice to sign a legal agreement that indicates they will not go into a courtroom and or put on boxing gloves, and instead they will meet in a series of meetings to effectively work through all the details about their divorce. And that's the place where many couples decide to step into the collaborative approach. Some folks on airplanes might say, well, isn't that just mediation? And the answer to that is absolutely not, because if we move along this continuum, mediation is an option to move into if you are in the collaborative process and or litigation and you reach an impasse. If you cannot resolve the issues in this very effective approach to conflict, collaborative approach, you have a choice to bring in someone as a mediator. In North Texas, that would typically be a family law attorney or a former family law judge, who would step in to sit down with both of you and talk and work through the areas of impasse. So I always visualize it as a continuum of choices. And the hope is not to need a mediation. Instead, to learn the skills, work through it collaboratively, but in the meantime, hopefully have some healing occur between the two of you and your families. That's a huge piece of what the team can bring. Prior to this work, I had been in private practice at that point for 18 years. And private practice in the mental health field means you go behind closed doors for 50 minutes out of every hour. You listen to the pain of humanity. You do your best to be present, and then you have 10 minutes to breathe, and then you come back again. So the most measurable change for me has been that I no longer have to hold every word that I hear in confidence. And often I believe I held it in my body. I think it became toxic for me at some level after 18 years of hour to hour of sexual abuse, physical abuse, addictions, depression, all the things that, again, we have. But at some level I think it became toxic in terms of the impact on my body. I don't know, I'm not going to put too many more words to that. And so the most measurable difference is, and I think about this all the time, I now get to process, problem solve, sometimes just dump, share ideas with a team of professionals. I love that. It is amazing to me to no longer have the sense in my collaborative work as a mental health that I have to be the be-all, end-all and figure it all out myself. And I'm exaggerating that a little bit, but as a private practitioner, that is the reality of it. Now, not only do I get to go to 3 other professionals, wife's lawyer, husband's lawyer, and a neutral financial professional, and or if there's child specialists, at times 4 other professionals, but I get the collective wisdom of at least 2 different disciplines. In the past, if I was getting collective wisdom, maybe in a supervision group, in private, right, if I'd be dialoguing, how do I deal with physical abuse? I'm just making that up. The wisdom would come from everyone who's trained exactly the way I'm trained, right? We're all looking at it this way. Now, it's just amazing. I mean, to be present with the way financial professionals think and process the world, and the way lawyers think and process the world, and be present with our frequent team meetings and team discussions. We meet after every single joint meeting, always. We call it a debrief. We spend 15 minutes as a team. What happened, what worked, what didn't, how can we be better? And I just sit there sometimes in amazement and giggle out loud now, since I know them all so well, at the way they hear and see and take things in and what it means versus the way I hear and see it. So that's been a gift for me, because I realized my way of seeing the world for 18 years was this way. Now it's this way. I love that part of it. I love that part of it. I love when we have differences. It challenges us to grow. I also think the three pair of glasses, financial, legal, and mental health, are an absolute gift to that family. That they have three different perspectives looking at their family and helping them make this shift in the best way possible. How great! It's not just a legal set of glasses or a financial set of glasses or the all about the emotions and communication set of glasses. That's a gift for them, I think, that they're offered all of that. There have been just so many experiences where I'll sit there with the team and I'll say, "You saw what? That meant what to you?" It means just the opposite to me. And we'll just laugh with one another about that. That's been a great part. The most measurable part I can think of is I no longer have to do this all by myself and carry this all by myself. There's something about the lifting up from the team that I can't quite put words to. I didn't expect it to be as powerful as it is in my life. I did not. Of course, I don't know. I didn't really know what to expect because I got in this when we were just developing it. So I guess I didn't have expectations other than I thought we were going to help families. Of course, that was my number one, and still is, my number one motivator. This collaborative community as a whole is amazing. I don't quite know how to put words to the experience, but I think anyone that would go to the annual forum for IACP, the next one of which is in Minneapolis, St. Paul, of course, in October, to honor Stu Webb, and rightfully so. You can measure the positive energy in that room. But as you were talking about community and I was thinking about community, another piece comes to my mind around that. Two other pieces. One is I believe that one of the reasons why the collaborative community here is so strong and so connected, and it is, we have a very, very strong group of collaborative professionals in North Texas. And I believe one of the reasons is that we worked on the nuances of it with the thought that if this was going to be an additional model, the neutral MHP model, mental health professional, we wanted it to be as clear and as powerful and effective as possible. And this collaborative community came together often in the first couple years saying, what about if we change this a little bit? And would this make it more effective if we did this? And what about if we tried this form? There are so many things that have been developed right here in North Texas that are used in various places now around the world in regard to this model, from protocols to forms to subtle things to how to set up files. And I'm so proud of that. And it has to do, again, with how that task, development of that model, drew our community together. The second piece, I guess I'll say about community, this is another hidden gift of this work that I had no idea. Maybe the best way is to give an example of this. In the past 10 days, I've had conversations with people all over North America by email, and recently, just 2 days ago, spoke on the phone with someone from Tasmania about what's going on there in regard to collaborative work. So another wonderful gift of this work has been bringing people from all over the planet together around a common cause. And that's pretty amazing to be part of that also. I love talking to people from all around the world and hearing what they're doing and what's working and what's not, and working with mental health professionals all over, helping them to increase their skills and to be the best they can be in this work. It's been great.